The Rape of the Lock. Canto 2. Alexander Pope. Not with more glories, in this ethereal plain, the sun first rises o'er the purpled main, then, issuing forth, the rival of his beams launched on the bosom of the silver Thames. Fair nymphs, and well-dressed youths around her shone, but every eye was fixed on her alone. On her white breast a sparkling cross she wore, which Jews might kiss, and infidels adore. Her lively looks a sprightly mind disclose, quick as her eyes, and as unfixed as those, favors to none, to all she smiles extends. Oft she rejects, but never once offends. Bright as the sun, her eyes the gazers strike, and, like the sun, they shine on all alike. Yet graceful ease, and sweetness void of pride, might hide her faults, if bells had faults to hide. If to her share some female errors fall, look on her face, and you'll forget 'em all. This nymph, to the destruction of mankind, nourished 2 locks, which graceful hung behind in equal curls, and well conspred to deck with shining ringlets the smooth foray neck. Love in these labyrinths his slaves detains, and mighty hearts are held in slender chains. With hairy springes we the birds betray, slight lines of hair surprise the finny prey. Fair tresses man's imperial rays ensnare, and beauty draws us with a single hair. This adventurous baron the bright locks admired. He saw, he wished, and to the prize aspired. Resolved to win, he meditates the way, by force to ravish, or by fraud betray. For when success a lover's toil attends, few ask, if fraud or force attained his ends. For this, ere Ph. Bus rose, he had implored propitious heaven, and every pow single quota adored, but chiefly loved to love an altar built, of 12 vast French romances, neath a gilt. There lay 3 garters, half a pair of gloves, and all the trophies of his former loves. With tender billet doux he lights the pyre, and breathes 3 amorous sighs to raise the fire. Then prostrate falls, and begs with ardent eyes soon to obtain, and long possess the prize. The pow single quotars gave ear, and granted half his prey single quotar, the rest, the winds dispersed in empty air. But now secure the painted vessel glides, the sunbeams trembling on the floating tides, while melting music steals upon the sky, and softened sounds along the waters die. Smooth flow the waves, the zephyrs gently play. Belinda smiled, and all the world was gay. All but the sylph with careful thoughts oppressed, this impending woe sat heavy on his breast. He summons straight his denizens of air. The lucid squadrons round the sails repair, soft o'er the shrouds aerial whispers breathe, that seemed but zephyrs to the train beneath. Some to the sun their insect wings unfold, waft on the breeze, or sink in clouds of gold. Transparent forms, too fine for mortal sight, their fluid bodies half dissolved in light, loose to the wind their airy garments flew, thin glittering textures of the filmy dew, dipped in the richest tincture of the skies, where light disports in ever-mingling dyes, while every beam new transient colors flings, colors that change whene'er they wave their wings. Amid the circle, on the gilded mast, superior by the head, was Ariel placked. His purple pinions opening to the sun, he ride his azure wand, and thus begun. Ampersand quo. Ye sylphs and sylphids, to your chief give ear. Fays, fairies, genii, elves, and daemons, hear. Ye know the spheres and various tasks assigned by laws eternal to this aerial kind. Some in the fields of purest vather play, and bask and whiten in the blaze of day. Some guide the course of wandering orbs on high, or roll the planets through the boundless sky. Some less refined, beneath the moon's pale light pursue the stars that shoot athwart the night, or suck the mist and grosser air below, or dip their pinions in the painted bow, or brew fierce tempests on the wintry main, or o'er the glebe distill the kindly rain. Others on earth o'er human race preside, watch all their ways, and all their actions guide. Of these the chief the care of nations own, and guard with arms divine the British throne. Ampersand quo. Our humbler province is to tend the fair, not a less pleasing, though less glorious care. To save the powder from too rude a gale, nor let this imprisoned senses exhale, to draw fresh colors from the vernal flow single quotares, to steal from rainbows ere they drop and show single quotares a brighter wash. To curl their waving hairs, assist their blushes, and inspire their airs. Nay oft, In dreams, invention we bestow, to change a flounce, or add a fur below. Ampersand quo. This day, black omens threat the brightest fair that e'er deserved a watchful spirit's care. Some dire disaster, or by force, or sleight, but what, or where, the fates have wrapped in night. Whether the nymph shall break Diana's law, or some frail china jar receive a flaw, or stain her honor, or her new brocade, forget her prate single quotaress, or miss a masquerade, or lose her heart, or necklace, at a ball, or whether he even was doomed that shock must fall. Haste, then, ye spirits, to your charge repair, the fluttering Phanby's Ephrata's care. The drops to thee, Brillante, we consign, and, Momentilla, let the watch be thine. Do thou, Crispisa, tend her favourite look. Ariel himself shall be the guard of shock. Ampersand quo. To 50 chosen sylphs, of special note, we trust this important charge, the petticoat. Oft have we known that sevenfold fence to fill, though stiff with hoops, and armed with ribs of whale. Form a strong line about the silver bound, and guard the wide circumference around. Ampersand quo. Whatever spirit, careless of his charge, his post neglects, or leaves the fair at large, shall feel sharp vengeance soon o'ertake his sins, be stopped in vials, or transfixed with pins, or plunged in lakes of bitter washes lie, or wed whole ages in a buckin's eye. Gums and pomatums shall his flight restrain, while clogged he beats his silken wings in vain. Or alum styptics with contracting pow single quotar shrink his thin essence like a rivelled flow single quotar. Or, as Ixion fixed, the wretch shall feel the giddy motion of the whirling mill, in fumes of burning chocolate shall glow, and tremble at the sea that froths below. Ampersand quo. He spoke. The spirits from the sails descend. Some, orb in orb, around the nymph extend, some thread the mazy ringlets of her hair, some hang upon the pendants of her ear. With beating hearts the dire event they wait, anxious, and trembling for the birth of fate.